Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Em, and for this week's video I am going to be reading books that have been on my TBR for a very long time. I've picked 4 books from my physical TBR that I have had on my TBR for probably a year plus, probably 2 years. A long time. So this is the one that I'm going to be starting with, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Bought this around the time that I bought the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I read the first book. I think this may have been 2021. But this has been on my physical TBR for a very long time, and I've just been putting it off, but we're gonna read it finally. One of the other books that I will be reading in this video is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Definitely over a year this has been sitting on my bookshelf. I do have Legendary and Finale, but this is the first one, so this is Caraval. I don't really know what's going on here, but I've heard very good things about this book, so, and this series. So I think it's finally time I pick this up. So I will be reading that. Next book on my TBR for this video is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have wanted to read this for the longest time. I actually only just bought this book. It has been on my TBR on Goodreads for a very long time. I think the main character kind of comes from nothing, and then a billionaire dies and leaves all like his money to her, but she doesn't really know why. And then it's kind of about how she has to move into his mansion that she's now inherited for some reason that she doesn't know, and there's a bunch of like secrets and stuff that unravel and she's got to find out. I'm very excited. So this is the next book. Final book that will be read in this video is The Atlas 6. You can tell how long I've had this on my physical TBR by the fact that I have the hardcover rather than the paperback, because if you know me, I hate hardbacks and I will always read a book in the paperback. I will wait for the paperback, but this one I really wanted to read, so I bought the hardcover and then never read it. So these are the 4 books that I have chosen for this video, which have been on my TBR for years, and I am finally going to read them. So without further ado, let's get reading, and first up is Six of Crows. So I'm reading Six of Crows and I'm currently on page 67. I don't really know what's going on. I forgot how long it takes me to jump into like a fantasy world. Obviously I've read Shadow and Bone, so I've been in the Grishaverse before, but yeah, I don't really know what's going on right now. Hopefully it will become more obvious as I get further in. I mean, this book is like, ooh, it's a long one. It's nearly 500 pages, so I still have, you know, a good chunk to go, so hopefully I will figure it out. But yeah, I always find that with fantasies it takes me a little bit to get into the world. Hopefully it will get better as I get further in. I just finished Six of Crows and I have given it 3 stars. Me, I don't know if it's just because I'm not much of a fantasy girly, didn't enjoy it that much. Still a good book, but yeah, it was definitely not like amazing, and it's definitely not the best like fantasy book that I've read. It felt like a bit of a chore getting through it, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I will read Crooked Kingdom. I've heard mixed reviews on it. Some people say it's better than Six of Crows and some people say that it's not worth reading. So let me know what your thoughts are on that and whether I should pick that up. Like a book this long, I feel like the actual heist didn't take place until like quite far into the book, unless I was just not understanding what they were doing. For me, it didn't live up to the hype, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't a good book. Like it was. I gave it 3 stars, which to me is a good book. Okay, so I have a little update for you. So I decided that I'm going to read Caraval next, get into my pyjamas and get into bed and start reading this book. So yeah, that's what I'm reading next, just to update you. Last night I started Caraval by Stephanie Garber and I actually got 50% of the way through. I'm on page 206. I was only going to read to page 100 but I was really enjoying it. So I got to page 150 and then I got to page 200 and I was like, I should probably go to sleep now, but if it wasn't so late I probably would have stayed up and finished the book. Basically there's 2 girls whose father is really quite abusive, and one of them has been writing to Legend, the guy that like kind of runs Caraval, and she's been writing to him for years, and then finally she receives a letter back and she receives tickets to enter Caraval. Father is obviously really abusive and doesn't like them to leave the like island, and they meet a sailor and he helps them out and they get to Caraval. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, they are now playing the game, and yeah, I'm halfway through and I'm really enjoying it, so I am probably definitely going to finish this today. So it's about maybe an hour and a half later since my last like spoken update, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But I just finished Caraval and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. I don't know why it's taken me so long to pick it up, because I think I just thought I wouldn't like it, but I really enjoyed it. It was just so like magical and whimsical, and you know, the mystery that's involved and the romance. I really enjoyed this book. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to give too much information away. I will definitely be reading Legendary and Finale to see how the story continues. I'm not going out for a few hours, so I think I'm going to start on the Atlas 6. I'm looking over there because that's where my bookshelf is. But yeah, I think I'm going to start the Atlas 6 just because I'm in like the reading zone right now. I'm gonna go grab the book and then go back downstairs and start reading it. So it is actually a lot later now, as we can tell. Earlier I started the Atlas 6. I'm on page 200. Yeah, I have about 170 something pages to go. But I'm not super keen on it right now. So obviously it is a like dark academia book, but sorry, I took the dust jacket off because it's just easier to read without it flapping all over the place. It is a dark academia book, and obviously it's a magical school kind of setting. This very much is giving me the Deadly Education vibes, and I DNF'd that book. There was a lot of introductory stuff, which I guess is fair. It's the first in a series. I'm not really enjoying it, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to enjoy it, but unfortunately I'm not. Good morning guys, so I'm coming at you with another update. I just finished the Atlas 6. I gave it 2 stars. I don't know, I feel like that's unpopular opinion. However, I don't know, so for me, like, all of the characters were very like similar. Like, they had a lot of like similar traits, and it got quite like confusing sometimes in like who was doing what, and there's a lot of like crossover interactions between characters. I mean, there's like an enemies to lovers that never actually goes to lovers, but they're definitely enemies, but they definitely seem like they want to have like that they care for each other. People who are like sleeping together, and then people who seem to want to sleep together and maybe did. I don't even know. Like, I genuinely, I could not tell you who had interactions with who in this book, because there was so many things going on in terms of that it was just like I don't know who's with who at this point. I don't know who's doing what. Yeah, there was no character that I was really rooting for in this book. Will I be reading the rest of the series? No. I can definitely see the appeal for this book. I really did want to like it. Like, I really did. I've been anticipating this read for years, and I really did want to read it and enjoy it. I just didn't click with it, and I didn't click with any of the characters. So we have 1 book left on the TBR for this video, and that is The Inheritance Games. I left this one for last because it's the one that I've been anticipating the most. Like, I've wanted to read this for such a long time, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know if I must have mentioned at some point that I'm off work this week. I'm not just like unemployed. Like, I do have a job. I'm just on annual leave this week. So that is why I have so much time to read, because all of my friends are at work. Not complaining though, because I am very quickly catching up on my Goodreads well, not even catching up, I'm very nearly there. I am going to start this. I am going to the cinema at 2:20 to watch the Eras Tour film, so I don't have anything to do before then. I'm going to start reading this one now, and I will let you know how it goes. So it's now 5 to 11, and I am 100 pages into The Inheritance Games, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm very intrigued on how Avery is connected to the Hawthorne family. We will see where it goes. Obviously, I'm not expecting too many answers because there are 2 other books in the trilogy. I'm just excited to see what we do find out. Yeah, uncover some secrets. You guys, I literally have like 20 pages left of this book. I'm on page 354, so potentially less than 20 pages left, and I am so intrigued on what's about to happen. Like, so it is now the next day, and I finished The Inheritance Games last night, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's actually like midday now, the next day, and I have started reading the next book in the series. The secrets and the riddles, the plot is just really interesting and intriguing. I really enjoyed reading it, but that does mean that this video has come to an end. So we have read 4 books that have been on my TBR for way too long. So overall we had 2 4 stars, 1 3 star and 1 2 star. No, it's pretty good, I'd say. My favourite 2 were definitely Caraval and The Inheritance Games. I will definitely be continuing both of these series. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know if you would like any other videos like this one. any like themed reading vlogs. Follow my social medias, they are down below as always. I hope you have a great week and I will see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!